What is going on, everybody? David here, and today we got a brand new video for y'all. And this time we are going to be taking a look at the Jurassic World Primal Attack Wave 2 Soundstrike assortment. Now, this assortment is built with the Majungasaurus, the Irritator, and the Parasaurolophus from the Camp Cretaceous cartoon series that's on Netflix currently. So if you haven't checked that out, I highly recommend that you check it out. It is very good. Not only that kids can enjoy it, but adults as well. Just keep in mind it's a little dark at certain times, but overall as a show, as a series, it's very good. I finished it off in one sitting. There's only like a handful of episodes. I think there's like 6 of them. But highly recommend it. So anyways, we will be taking a look at all 3 of these today and go on over each one of them, and we're going to compare and contrast, and going over the color schemes, scaling, counterparts with the other dinosaurs that's in the family itself, and things like that, all that fun stuff. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Now, first up, we are going to be taking a look at the Majungasaurus. So, for the packaging standpoint, it's an open style packaging. It's your standard Primal Attack packaging with the gated fence on the background on the card back. And as you see, it says Jurassic World and Primal Attack down there. And then it has these arrows pointing up and down, letting you know how the action feature works. And here's the sound logo right there, so it does let you know that it makes sound. And here is the action feature down here, and it says Soundstrike Majungasaurus, and then we got Owen in blue staring out in the blue, and then Mattel logo right there. On the side of the packaging, Jurassic World. On this side of the packaging, Primal Attack. At the bottom, it gives you some copyright information with the Universal and Amblin logos. And here is the DCP, or the UPC, whatever you want to call it. If you haven't found it yet, there should be still some in y'all's local Target or Walmart. So there it is if you need it. And on the back of the packaging, this here is the fax app information right there. Right there it says Soundstrike. I might as well say Soundstrike or Trike, whatever it was I just said. Primal Attack right there. Jurassic World logo right there. Majungasaurus right there. And then it says Thrashing Actions. And here is the prototype image right there that goes back and forth. And then over here, here's another image that says the Soundstrike logo right there, and it says Here Strike, or Head Strike. Here's, I can't even talk right now. And then you got the arrows pointing up and down that lets you know that you can move the tail up and down for the head strike action. And then here is the other dinosaurs in this assortment that we'll be taking a look at in this video. Here's the Irritator and the Parasaurolophus. So without further ado, in case if you was wondering what this thing is, it's just a little long piece of plastic thing to make sure that the battery is safe and sound so it doesn't leak or go bad on you and stuff like that. And plus, you don't want the dinosaur to make all kinds of weird sounds during shipment. So let me go ahead and crack this baby out, and let's go ahead and take a closer look at it. Okay, so here we have our Majungasaurus out of its packaging, but it does come with instructions. So let's go ahead and take a look at the instructions real quick. So we have here Jurassic World instructions, content, and then put that little piece aside. And then we have a artwork of our Majungasaurus right there, and it says Get Your World, Jurassic World. What is World? I'm telling you, I can't talk right now. Get Jurassic World fax app. And there it is right there, the logo. And then it says to play then it gives you A and B. And this just basically says move tail from side to side for roaring sound and golly, what is wrong? In thrashing action. So it gives you a placement where you need to put your hands and move the tail back and forth, side to side. And then B, it says lift the tail up and down for roaring sounds and head striking action. Not triking, striking. So it gives you another placement where your hands should be at in order to move the tail up and down for the head strike and sounds. And battery replacement. So it gives you an instruction on what to do, how to replace your batteries, how many you need, and so forth. So it says batteries included are for demonstration purposes only, and then so forth. Then this next little piece right here, just basically battery information stuff to basically let you know how to be safe, and it gives you the warning, what it can do, and so forth. It's just basically battery safety information. So, and that is that. And let's take a closer look at Majungasaurus. So, it is based off of molded in, it said based off, but I should say molded in all green plastic. So the paint apps that you see are painted on, and you can tell that the mold is green because everything is pretty much green except for the stuff that's not green. And it looks like the colors are like 7-Up. It's got like a 7-Up color. With a little bit of hint of blue. So, very interesting choice of color scheme. Now, could this have been a real color scheme for the Majunga? Perhaps. You know, who knows? But that's one thing about Mattel. They like to paint their dinosaurs odd colors, you know, from time to time. A few of them, you know, you get pretty realistic colors. But other than that, you know, interesting choice. And so I really don't know anything about the Majungasaurus, so I can't really tell you very much. So I'm just going to leave it at that. This is a new species that's new to me. Fairly new, should I say. I've seen it around a few times, YouTube clips and all that stuff. But as far as where it was dug up and so forth, I couldn't tell you anything. Sorry. But other than that, the paint scheme is pretty cool. You got this lemon colored yellow or mustard colored yellow all around the neck, and then it's just a pattern that goes all the way down here and it stops. It doesn't carry on further at all. It just stops right there. And the same for the belly. So the neck all the way down here just stops right there. Would have been cool if we just got a complete pattern at least right here, you know, halfway through the tail, if not the complete tail. Well, there you go. I guess it didn't like the way I did that, so it decided to tell me to stop it. Other than that, I do like the blue pattern though, around the eyes and everything. So let's check out the eye replacement. I said placement. Let's see how good it is. So far, you know, on this side, the eye placement is pretty good. Not bad. It's just a little down from the spot where it needs to be, just a hair, but it's not that noticeable. So, as you can tell, it's just off just a hair. And on this side, the eye placement is right on par, I think. You know. So, but the sculpting is very good. really like the sculpting of this, all the scoots, the scaling of it, it's very, the skin pattern texture is very nice. So I like the fact that you can get the gums and everything like this. And the jaw is articulated. Let's see. Let's look on this side here. The teeth are well done right here. So very cool. Got the wet tongue, look right there. So, as you notice that it's got some thick hind legs right there and very small arms. We always clown the Carnotaurs for having really small arms, but this one's probably a tad bit bigger than the Carno, just a little bit. So, but anyways, love the muscle pattern right here, the muscle structure and everything, the way they did the legs, the scoots, all along the sides and its necks, all the way down to the tail. What this is, I have no idea. I don't think I've ever seen this on a dinosaur before. Maybe on top, but a little on the bottom. But yeah, so very good mold of it. Like I said, interesting choice of color, but the molding is on par. And then got the little things right here that's hanging off on the back of its jaw, or underneath its jaw and neck. So, and here we have the Jurassic World logo right there. And for those who need it, there is the fax app. Enjoy. And maybe I should have just left that plastic piece till I was ready. I think I'll do that for the next two. But anyway, so as far as the articulation and action feature goes, the jaw is articulated. So it goes all the way up and down, but it doesn't go, that's about as far as it goes. It can't go any further. So it goes all the way up, closes like that. So it closes really nicely. And so as far as the hands go, it's on a ball and hinge. So they go forwards and out and backwards. Can't go all the way around. So, well, yeah, they can go all the way around. But, yep, there we go. It can't go all the way around this way. You gotta have to put some force behind it. But so, yep. And then legs. I think the legs are tied into the features, so I'm not going to try to try to force them to go forward and backwards. But they do have the typical thigh hinge, thigh articulation right there. Go in and out, so you can get a better posability if you need it to stand better. So, all right. So as far as the action feature goes, just do it like this. Be a lot easier. Oh. This doesn't like the way I'm handling it. So, but just hold the foot down. Just hold it like this. So if you want to do it side to side. So, and then for the head thrashing. So that's pretty much the sound that we got for the Majungasaurus. They're reusable. You got a couple of you got like an Indoraptor sound in there, and then you got like a generic roar that they usually use. Maybe one day they'll come up with something different. But yeah, let's go ahead and bring out some more carnivores to compare with this guy. Alright, so the first comparison that we have is the Concavinator, or Concombinator, as my boy Nick Holstetter always pronounces it, sounds more of a more realistic name, But anyways, I don't think this is the correct scaling for these two. I think the Concavinator is a bit smaller, But for the Jurassic World franchise, they scale up pretty good. So very nice. So really like that pairing. And so we'll move this guy out, and we will replace him and compare him to the Majungasaurus. So there. So there we go. Now, is this the correct scaling for these two species? I have no idea. Couldn't tell you. So, but yeah, nice little comparison with these two. So, very cool. And finally, we can compare him with this little guy. And the sad part is I forgot its name. I forgot what species this thing was. It's been so long, I couldn't even tell you, Even if my life depended on it, I totally forgot this species name. But it is a relative of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, so that part I got right. I know for a fact. But yeah, very cool. Really like that pairing. So let's go ahead and bring out a human. We are going to be using 3 3/4 snake eyes for comparison. So, and what we're going to do is we are going to take a look real quick at a estimate comparison. So here is an idea of what size the Majunga is compared to a human. So is that accurate in toy form? No. I think it would have to be a little bit bigger. Maybe if the Majungasaurus was on its legs a little bit higher, more of a tripodal pose. That will probably be it right there. Maybe. But even then, that's a little bit shorter. So, yep. So that's a look at the Majungasaurus. So let's go on and move to the next one. Hopefully we can move a little bit more quicker. I guess he didn't want to leave. All right. Up next is our Irritator. So I do know that this is a relative of the Spinosaur family. So not much is known about the Irritator. My friend Kevin McDonald, he told me why they call it the Irritator. I completely forgot. I think it was because they couldn't. It's not an actual complete species, I think, and he wasn't able to find the complete skeleton of it. So I guess that's why they call it the Irritator. I think that's why, because I got irritated because I couldn't complete the whole thing. I just only found bits and pieces. Now, as far as where it's been found and all that, I don't know. I couldn't tell you that. But that much I do know. But if Kevin, you watching, correct me if I'm wrong, please. But anyways, but yeah, this is the Irritator, and this is pretty much the same style Primal Attack packaging. The only difference is it says the Irritator right there, so we won't have to go with anything else. And here on the back, it's pretty much you got the prototype image right there, basically saying thrashing action and head strike. So pretty much the same way as the Majunga. So let's go ahead and cut this guy loose and take a closer look at her. That's a guy and then her. Wow. Okay, so just like the Majunga, it comes with instructions. So we already know what this is, so we don't need to go over this. It's basically the battery safety pamphlet. So, but this one we'll take a look at because we can take a look at the cool artwork that it provides us. So basically, this is the instructions and this is the content on the first page. So, get this nice artwork of the Irritator. And then, same thing like the Majunga. It says 1A, move the tail from side to side for roaring sounds and thrashing action. So, just like before, just shows you how to place your hands on the figure to move the figure side to side. And 1B, lift the tail up and down for roaring sounds and head striking action. And as before, it gives you hand replacements where you can replace your hands to go up and down to move the head up and down for the sounds and head striking action. And number 2, battery replacement. So, nice and simple. Alright. So here is the Majungasaurus, and for safety of the dinosaurs and the handling, we decided to go ahead and leave the plastic strip, so that way it won't try to bite us or make sounds when we're trying to handle this the proper way. So when we get ready for the action feature, we will remove the plastic stripping. So, also, no dinosaurs are being harmed in this video. So, anyways, so with this, you could tell that this Irritator or Irritator, you know, some people like to be outlandish with some of these names, but if you think about it, it could be called the Irritator if you want to be technical with it, but I think a lot of people would pronounce it more easier if it's Irritator, you know. But anywho's, yeah. So you could tell this was molded in brown plastic. So it's got this chocolate covered body, and the top part, especially from here, I think this is probably molded in a different colored plastic, you know, because you can tell it's a separate piece. But from the back of the head on, it's got that nicely painted color right there. It would look a lot better if it was just at least get some paint right here, down there. If not, then just right here. You know, you didn't have to make this pattern, but at least make that color here, at least. But yeah, what can you do? And as per usual, the hands and claws, you know, not painted. But this body mold is very nice, you know, and the only pattern that we get as far as color on the bottom is this right here. So while we have this on its underbelly, let's go ahead, and here is the Jurassic World logo. Sorry if you couldn't see that. And here is the Fax app logo. So enjoy. And so as far as the paint scheme goes, I do like the aqua color. You know, it does fit the Spinosaurus, this particular Spinosaurus, nicely. And it's got the kind of like a sea blue, and then a light colored blue, and navy blue. So it's got like 2 to 3 different shades of blue. So you pretty much got the navy blue as the main pattern. I know I did say sea blue, but navy blue, kind of sea blue, whatever you want to call it. Then you got the lightly colored blue pattern right there that kind of offsets it. You know, like I said, it's very, very nice colored patterning. The fuck. And so as far as the facial, the heck. So the facial features, it's pretty nice. really like that. You know, got that crocodilian-like feature snout, you know. So, there's the eye. Nice eye placement right there. And the other one, I did see it when I did pick it up. I went ahead, I could have picked it up, put it back when I found it, but I just decided to just go ahead and get it. But there's a eye replacement there, which is fine, but you could tell that the eye looked like it got scratched or something. So it's not completely done. So, but hey, they all need love. So, and then as far here is the articulated jaw right there. So very nice. That wet tongue feature right there, and then very nice paint job on the teeth. I did see some reviews on this, and some of the teeth, you know, paint's chipped and stuff. But luckily mine isn't. Don't worry, I have my share of painted chips, chipped teeth, whatever you wanna, however I'm trying to say it. But anyways, but yeah, I do love the patterning of this. You know, the nice. It's not overly muscle structure like the Majunga is, but it does got some. It's got more of kind of like the fat side of things. You know, got the layer right there, and so this is actually a pretty hefty figure. You know, it's a little bit more weightier than the Majunga is. So you can see the ribs right there. You know, and this side's not as muscular, you know, as the others are. A very nice pattern in the legs and the hands. Just the detail overall, not including the paint scheme, the detail of these molds are very good. You know, I gotta give them credit for that. Their molded details are on point. Choice of color, maybe a different story, but I do love the molds that they do provide for us, you know. And that's why we have good customizers, you know, out there that can make stuff like this pop more, you know. Claws, very nice. So anyways, so as far as the articulation and action feature goes, the hands are on a ball and hinge, so that means they can go in and out and up and down. And so this is about as far as it's going to get, unless if you try to force it, go all the way around 360. So I guess depending on where you have the hinge at, you know, you ain't going to be able to go all the way around. But if you have it like this, kind of have it out a little bit more, you can go around. But yeah, and then jaw, it's about as far as it's going to open right there. So yeah, closes all the way. So it's got a nice closes nicely. So now let's go ahead and pull the stripping out, so that way we can get to the sound feature. Alright, so just like the other, oh yeah, oh, by the way, it does have the, I forgot to mention that it does have the thigh articulation, so it goes in and out, so you can better your placement of the figure depending on how you want it to stand and where you have it standing. So just go like this, and back and forth. And now up and down. So that's your action feature right there. So I do like the sounds better than I do on the Majunga, because, you know, it sounds a little bit different, even though it has some of the similar sounds, but at least I didn't hear any Indoraptor sounds or anything like that. So I'm not saying that sound couldn't possibly happen in real life, but you never know. So let's go ahead and bring out the rest of its family that we have so far that Mattel has provided for us. Alright, so I had to scoot the camera back a little bit because, some of these figures are large and in charge. So, but yeah, here's the Spinosaurus family that we have so far that Mattel has kindly provided for us. We got the Spinosaurus, the Suchomimus, the Baryonyx, and now we have the Irritator. So, there we go. Very happy to include the Irritator to the Spinosaurus family that we have so far. And last but not least, we have Snake Eyes as a stand-in for our human counterpart. So, is the Irritator in scale with a 3 3/4 figure? Well, we're going to find out. So basically, here is a estimate based on the stuff that they found. So, only because all they found so far as we know of is the skull, and so they have to use a Suchomimus as a stand-in for the body. So this is kind of a rough estimate of what it would look like if it was completed. So is it in scale? Maybe if he was able to stand it up a little bit, that's going to be at least above head level. It could be, but it's close. So that was a look at the Suchomimus. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this thing. What's your favorite Spinosaurus out of the whole collection that I showed off? And last but not least, we are going to be taking a look at the Parasaurolophus. Parasaurolophus, or Parasaurolophus, depending on how you want to pronounce it. There's no right or wrong way, but I think technically it's pronounced Parasaurolophus. Now, I've actually done a review on the original Parasaurolophus that was released in the Dino Rivals line, and we will do a comparison with that here in a second once we go over everything. But this is the Camp Cretaceous Parasaurolophus. It's based on the TV series. Like I said in the beginning of the video, if you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. But anyways, so this is your typical Camp Cretaceous packaging, and if you've been watching my videos, I already went over what the basic Camp Cretaceous packaging is, So, without further ado, let's go ahead and continue on. The only difference is, it's the name, so it just says Parasaurolophus. So, you just have the Jurassic World logo here with the Camp Cretaceous. And then, the only other difference is you got the kids down here, and you got Toro. So, let's go ahead and turn back around. And there you go. Pretty much same typical standard back packaging. So, Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, and here is the prototype image. It says Parasaurolophus, double head strike. And it just tells you how to maneuver the tail around, and then the sound action. And of course, you get the little map thing that gets included in all the Camp Cretaceous figures. So, let's go ahead and take this girl out. And for the safety of our dinosaurs, so that way we won't be hurting them, we gotta leave the little plastic strip in there, so that way when we handle it with care, we won't make any noises or anything like that. So, alright, we finally got our Parasaurolophus out of its packaging, and you know the drill. It does come with the instructions and stuff, and this little Camp Cretaceous map. Well, let's go ahead and quickly take a closer look at them. And here is the instructions, and you already know what this is. This is the battery safety pamphlet. So, the instructions right here. Here's the nice artwork right there, contents, and it just gives you the little map thing right there. It's included with little stickers. And as usual, 1A says to play. It says twist the tail for roaring sounds and thrashing action. So here we have a little artwork with our hands, or hand placements to move the dinosaur's head around to make the sound. And here is the lift the tail up and down for roaring sounds and head striking action. So here's the picture of the hand placements to where we hold the dinosaur to move the tail up and down for the head striking and sound actions. And here is the battery placement right here, information. Okay, so next little thing that came with, it's got this little Camp Cretaceous little book thing. Like I said, they all come with it, so it's pretty much the same thing. You've seen one, you've seen them all, so I won't bore y'all too much with this thing, but we're just going to take a quick look at it. So, I don't think I'm doing this very quickly, am I? So here are the stickers. These are really cool. I do save all these, to be honest with you. So here is the book with Toro and the kids, Miles. I forgot the other two kids' name, to be honest. So here is the map. So all you got to do is direct these kids and make sure you avoid Toro, the Raptor, and Rexy. Make sure they get it to here. So there you go. That being said, we can finally take a look at this Parasaurolophus. Now, when they showed this product at Toy Fair, I wasn't too sure what this was supposed to be about. Now, after watching the series, I know why this is painted, has this paint scheme, So, without further ado, like I said, if you haven't seen it, highly recommend it, and this will explain why this figure is painted this way. So, anyways, not much to be really said. This is basically the same thing as the Dino Rivals one. The only thing is just retooled. That's it, and it's pretty much the same paint scheme for the most part, as far as the brown patterns go. And you can tell this is the manila color that it was dipped in, or the plastic, for this particular mold. And this and this, and the underbelly is been painted on there. So I think this is a lot better tooling than the original. I think, so as far as the way this is tooled, even though it's pretty much the same thing. I do like it better, though, not gonna lie. So, very nice coloring to it, Then it's got this vanilla color at the bottom stomach. Should be all the way around its neck and stuff. And here is the Jurassic World logo. Sorry if you're not able to see that. And there is the fax app information. If y'all want this, you may have it. Y'all still enjoy. And not much else to say about the color scheme except for that. It's just got the brown part on his neck and travels little pattern stripings right there on the side. And got the pattern right there. And we'll compare it here in a minute with the other one. See how much change the pattern is. And you know, it's got the pink paint scheme right here on the back, and a little bit on the leg and on its horn. So the eye placement is good. So yeah, that's about it, you know. I think it's, but I do like the structure of it though. You know, the neck, and here's, you know, this is also a weighty figure too, you know. It's fat and hefty. You know, not much muscle structure on this one either. You know, it's kind of like a big cow, you know. They're not going to have a whole lot of muscle tone to it, you know. So, as far as the articulation goes, again, these are on a ball and hinge. So go in and out, up and down, in and out, up and down. So they do go 360 on this one. This one, you can do 360 as well. And let's go ahead and pull the strip out. And let's do the action feature. Oh, and before I forget again, it does have the hinge. So, ooh, had to kind of crack that apart. So, had to get that loose a little bit. So, these legs actually can move up and down, you know. So, it's weird. The other shoe, I wasn't able to do that. Wasn't able to move the legs forward and backwards. Interesting. It is what it is. So, let's have a placement right there. Let the dinosaur stand where it needs to stand. And wow. Up and down. Interesting choices of sound. Let's hear that again. Now that would sound like a Parasaurolophus should sound a little bit, not totally. And that kind of sounds like more of a carnivorous sound. Half and half. But yeah, I do like these sounds. This sounds a lot better than it would if they. Now the one that they had, the sounds that they had on the Montosaurus, ooh, that was atrocious. That was not a good look as far as that goes. So let's go ahead and get the comparisons to the other Parasaurolophus. Now, as you can see, this one's paint scheme is different. You noticed that the feet on this one is painted, but the feet on the newer version isn't. So this is a dual attack. It would have its head strike in there, you know, and then its tail strike right there. So, depending on who you are and what your preference is, you know. Just trying to. But as you can tell, the pattern, this is pretty much straight and narrow all the way down to the tail. And look at the legs too, compared to this one. So, as you can see, like I mentioned before, This is more of a weighty figure. This looks like it lost some weight. So this figure is a lot thicker than this one. So look how thin that is. And look how thick this one is. So this is a thickum. So, but I do like this one better. I do like the new version better. So I prefer the new version. Nothing wrong with this one, but if I had a preference, I would have this one better because it's more in line with what it's supposed to look like, you know. Because you see here, it's got that hump feature right there, look to it. This one doesn't. It's just kind of a little bit flat. So, and then as far as the facial features and sculpt goes, they're pretty much the same. But like I said, I do like this one's a lot better, in my opinion. So, there you go. There is the comparisons for the Dino Rivals one. So for the final comparison we have is Snake Eyes, again, standing in. So, is this an accurate scaling? Now here is what it would look like. So, yeah, not really. It needs to be at least this big to be accurate. But it's a good size though, not bad. So there you go, guys and gals. That is a look at Wave 2 Soundstrike, Parasaurolophus, Majungasaurus, and the Irritator. Hope y'all enjoyed this. This is almost 50 minutes long, so I apologize. But comment down below what you think. What is your favorite one? And which ones did you like out of the comparisons? Do you like the comparisons better, or did you like the figure itself? What I mean by that, like, did you like these figures over the comparisons, or did you like the comparisons over these figures? So, in my opinion, I do like this one over the comparison. I like this one. The color scheme, it could have been better, but it's a unique color, but I do like the molding. And same thing here. I do love the molding and the color scheme, but it should have been finished all the way down. That's my only knock. This, I do like this a lot overall as a whole. So my favorite one of the bunch has to be this Parasaurolophus. So, that being said, let's go ahead and wrap up this video. Where's the wisdom? Why would you love it, not would you like? Because if you die, what? Dive? What do you mean? The perks of doing this live and unedited and uncut. Let's do it again. Where's the wisdom? Buy what you love and not what you like. Because if you buy what you like, you will always end up getting rid of it. And I'll catch y'all later.